Hi there and welcome to another Battle of the Ports. Unfortunately this week I have come down with the flu, so my voice is a little bit different on this video. Apologies for that, but hopefully you'll still enjoy the show. Mappy comes from a simple time when games were cute and innocent. Released in 1983 by Namco, this simple yet tricky and fun platformer offered gamers something new back in the day, where most games were Galaxian or Pac-Man knockoffs. You play as Mappy, a mouse police officer who must protect goods from being stolen by the Meowkeys. The mansion in which the game plays out has 6 floors, which can be reached by jumping upon trampolines. You must be careful though, as these will break if you bounce on them 4 times in a row. Some corridors are closed off by doors, however, these actually play to your advantage. Opening and closing doors is an important feature of the game. Doors only open towards the doorknobs. Opening a door when a Meowkey is near it will score 50 points. Meowkeys cannot open doors, but can go through open ones. Goro, a large red Meowkey, will open a door if it opens away from him. Blue doors, when opened, blast a slow-moving microwave in the direction of the doorknob that will trap any cats it touches and remove them from the stage. The more cats caught, the more points gained. So as you can see, Mappy isn't that complicated, but as is the case most of the time, simple is best. The first port we're going to take a look at is for the Famicom. This was one of Namco's earlier Famicom ports, so I'm surprised at how good it turned out. Anyone who's seen Pac-Land will know what I mean. Due to resolution issues, the map only features 5 of the 6 mansion floors. This is quite common in the home port, mind you. Playability wise, it's rather well done. Mappy moves at the correct speed and the AI seems to be on par with the arcade original. The jumping can feel a little stiff on the bonus rounds, mind you, but besides that, all is good with this port. With Mappy being an older game, it was ported to many different Japanese home computers. Many of them are featured on this show, such as this NEC PT88 port. Sadly, the Sword M5, Sharp MZ series and the NEC PC6001 are all missing. But never mind that. How is this PC88 port? Well, not too bad. It sounds just like the arcade machine and plays rather well. It is quite jerky as you can see, however, the main graphics are pretty well done. This sure beats what the IBM PCs were pumping out at the time with their CGA graphics. You may have noticed that this port is by Denpa. Yep, better known as Micom Soft these days. Just like the PC-88 port, this Sharp X1 port is also by Denpa. It does differ a little in terms of difficulty settings. The port is a lot tougher than the PC-88 version and seems to run a little faster. The audio is also different. I'm not going to say weaker, just different. Depending upon your preference, this may be a good port or not. It all depends upon whether you enjoy your games with quite a high challenge. Can you believe a port of Mappy actually made its way onto the Epoch Super Cassette version? A console not known for its arcade ports. Unfortunately, I don't own a Super Cassette version these days, so I'm left with using emulation, which isn't too good. From what we can see, this is again a great port, especially for the power of the system it's running on. The Super Cassette version is probably best compared to the ColecoVision. Here's a nice surprise, Mappy on the Game Gear. Playing this on a real Game Gear is rather good. It's a solid port with an extra option, which puts you into a vertically scrolling tower stage with many floors. This extra mode adds a lot to the package, but maybe not as much as the 2-player Link mode. How about that for cool? Found on Namco Museum 2 comes the PlayStation port. This is apparently ported and not emulated. It is very close, if not the same as the arcade version, for those not playing them side by side. It even replicates the arcade boot sequence. To me, it seems like the perfect port. Mappy even made its way onto the Gameboy Advance, but only as part of the Famicom mini-series. So as to be expected, this is basically the Famicom game running on the Gameboy Advance. It's not emulation, but a very close to perfect port. Mappy on the MSX is probably what a ZX Spectrum port would have been like. Plainly coloured sprites and backgrounds. It's also the only port so far not to feature the bonus stages, and only has 4 floors per stage, while most ports have 5 and the arcade has 6. The game does play fine, although it can be a little tricky seeing which doors let off the microwave blast and which doesn't. They're all the same colour. The only way you can tell is by how thick the door appears. There are 2 ports of Mappy for the X68000, although neither are official. First, we'll take a look at the port known as Yopino. As you can see and hear, this is a very close port of the arcade game. It plays really well too, and I'd even say that the bonus screens control better than the real arcade game. The second port is known as the N.Kei port. Rather than being a straight up port, this version tries to enhance the experience with slightly flashier graphics, beefed up soundtrack and a configuration screen. Some may like these changes and some may not. I do personally enjoy how all the computers in the game have been changed to X68000 looking towers. And let's take a look at all those versions of Mappy running side by side.